Hello everyone. Mm, We choose the topic that is the multiplexer. The multiplexer, the it is a digital switch. It is also we called that is the MUX, which connects data from one of n sources to the output. It having number of select input determine which data sources is connected to the output. MUX acts like a digitally controlled multi-position switch where the binary code applied to the select input controls the input source that will be switched on to the output, as well as time only is given, and one input gets as an selected and is connected to the output, and it is based on the select input lines. The operation of multiplexer can be better explained, that is the mechanical switch as well as a rotary switch. It having, when you touch any of the inputs that is the connected with outputs, that is multiplexer, it is an data selectors, that is also called as MUX. It is an device that allows digital information from several sources to be routed onto a single line for a transmission. It having several data input lines and some select lines less than the number of input lines. Means whatever the input lines less than it having the select lines. Mux, it is having single output line. It having single output line. This is some points for the multiplexer. There are n data input lines, for example, and m is the select lines. Means whatever the select lines, that much it will be input lines. For example, m is the 2, then 2 raised to 2, that is the 4, means 4 is the input lines. A multiplexer or data selector is very popular and most widely used for a combination circuit. It has multiple inputs and having one output. It accepts several data inputs and allows only one of them at a time to get through the output. Yes, it allows a number of inputs, but from one of them, as well as from given input sides, it will be generates only one single output. This will be routing or desired data input is controlled with select line. This is the important select lines already shown here in block diagram. It's act as a digital controlled multi-position switch. In this case, select lines will be decide which data inputs will appear over an output. The multiplexer selects one out of n input lines as well as data sources and transmits selected data to single output channel. And basically, this is called as an multiplexing. Now, here the question will be arises again. What is the marks? Otherwise, what is the multiplexer? Already we see it is a digital switch that has multiple input sources and single output, that is the destination. Here given single output destination, and there are different type of inputs also, and it having selection lines determines the which input is connected to the output. Mm, that will be depends on the select lines, and it having multiple inputs already seen, that is a and single line output. Select lines determine which input is connected to output, and it increase the amount of data can be sent over a network. It is also called as data selector. That is MUX types. That is the MUX types 2 to 1, 4 to 1, 8 to 1, 16 to 1. Means 2 is the input line, 4 is the 4 is the input lines, 8 is the input line, 16. That is the outputs. Means many inputs, single output. 2 to 1 means 2 raised to m equal to 1. Already previously we seen the formula. Means it requires one output. Okay. Means there are only two input lines. Okay. Two input lines means for output will be already here clear. 2 raised to m equal to n. That is the we required output lines 2. Means how many when you putting the 2 raised to 1, in that case will be generates two input lines. 2 raised to m when you required 4, then 2 raised to 2 when you putting, then we gets the 4. Means 2 raised to 2, then we generates 4 input line. 2 raised to 3 means 8 input line. 2 raised to 4 means 16 input lines. Okay. Here we taken one example. We see the here 2 raised to 1 purpose. We are going to use here AND gate, that is the gating device, and it will be opens gate when one of the input is logic 1, and AND gate closes already we know when it's one of the input is 0. Therefore one line to AND gate is data inputs, that is the D0 and D1. Now depending upon the remaining part, that is the address of select lines as well as status of select lines. Here we taken one example 4:1 multiplexer. It is the 4 input lines D0, D1, D2, D3. Here we required two select lines. How you define? Because we required 4 input lines, means 2 raised to 2, then we get 4. Means 4 input lines means we require 2 select lines. That is the, as compared to input lines, it is the very less number. Then only one single output line. Now we prepared here truth table, that is the A and B is the select line. Okay, and we prepare circuit diagram also for D0, D1 and D2 and D3 purpose. This is the input lines. Here we ending with each gate. Here is the two inputs, two select lines, that is the A and B. Each select line we connected NOT gate, because AND gate is the when it comes 0, in that case it will be gate will be closed, hence we connected with NOT gate. A and B is the connected with NOT gate, and that NOT gate will be connected with every input line. Okay, and one input line will be comes from the here, that is D0, D1, D2, D3, and one input from the without NOT and one input from the NOT gate. Okay, and that all outputs from the AND gate will be connected with OR gate, which generates the output. Means this output will be D0, this output will be D1. N0 and 1. For example, B0 A0 means for D0 purpose, that is the B0 is 1 and sorry A0 and B0, then will be generates D0. Means D0, D1, D2, D3 will be generates, and we gets that is the, this is the one example for 4 to 1. When you take 8 to 1, in that case here is the 8 input lines. Here we required 3 select lines. Here is the comes 0 0 0 to 1 1 1 is up to 8 variables 0 to 7. Here output will becomes D0, D1, D2, D3 up to D7. Here is the comes another one select line, that is the A, B, C, and input lines, that is 7 input lines. Okay. It having some applications of MUX. Here we shown in diagrams. That is there are multiple sources. Here is the select lines and the destination means it is sound system. Okay. Here there are multiple inputs. For example, this sound system we connected with MP3, any player, any iPod, any other system. It also connect with laptop with sound card. It also with connected with our digital setup box with satellite already connected in home appliances. And this sound system will be connected with digital cable TV. We know the VCR, DVD, CD player with such type of one. These all the input lines. This is the multiple sources. Is connected with MUX. Okay, and this is the selected sources. The first source, that is the we connected with 0 0, that is the MP3. Okay, when you connected laptop and select line also, that is the 1 1 means laptop, digital setup box, and cable TV. And this is the selections, and we'll play the song with sound system, that is the selected sources by the multiple sources of given here MP3, laptops, and digital satellites, and cable TV, DVD, VCR, all that things. Now, demultiplexer. Demultiplexer, it is an basically reverses of multiplexing function, means single inputs multiple outputs. It's takes data from one line and distributes that data to the given number of output lines. For this reason, the demultiplexer is known as a data distributor, and multiplexer is known as the data selector. And it having single data input lines, some select lines less than number of output lines, and several output lines. There are n data output lines, that is the same, previously we used that formula here. The functional diagram of demultiplexer. That is the data input line, single data input line, and multiple output lines here shown. And we are going to use here AND gate to pass input data and required output lines for the proper address. And demultiplexer in already we seen in multiplexer. It is exactly reverse of the mux, and it accepts single input and distributes it on several outputs. The single input should appear over which input output line is decided by the select line. The demultiplexer takes one input data source and selectively distributes to n output channels in multi-position switches. The data at the input can be routed to specific output based on select line combinations. It is a digital switch with a single input source and multiple outputs, that is the destinations. The select lines determines which output the input is connected to, and it will be depends on the input and select lines. It is also device the input and multiple output line. It is used to send a signal to one of the many devices here. The main difference, that is the mux and demux, is the multiplexer takes two or more signals and encodes them on wire, but in demultiplexer it is the reverse of the multiplexer. This is the source, only single source. Using of select lines it will be decided, and then it will be generates some destination, that is the output lines. There are number of output lines. Same as per the mux, only single input lines, and there are different output lines. Means output will be depends on the select lines. When you selected two select lines, then it will be generates four output lines. Three select line when you selected, that is 2 raised to m, that is the 2 raised to 3 when you get the 8. This is the one example we are taken here, 1 to 4 demultiplexer. Single input line, 4 output lines. That is the 4 output lines means 2 raised to 2, that is the 2 select lines we required here. That is the 4 outputs D0, D1, D2, D3 here we connected, and 2 select lines, that is the input lines. Same, that is the X, it is the input line connected with each AND gate, and A and B is the select line. It will be connected not gate connected with each AND gate, and without not gate it will be connected with each AND gate. And when you given 0 0, only D0 will be gets remaining all the zeros. Same for the, it will be goes in diagonal structure, and then it will be generates output D0, D1, D2, D3. Means only one single input line, it generates 4 outputs by using of 2 select lines. When you here taken 1 to 8, in that case here we require 3 select lines. Here is the 8 output lines. Here we go to the D0 to D7. Here we comes D0 to D7 different outputs, and here is the another one select line. This is the application of DEMUX. The single source here is the we taken personal computer, desktop computer connected with our MUX. This is our truth table of select line, that is 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1. The destination is selected, that is the first one, laser printer. Means it will be works with the different multiple destination. That is, it works with laser printer, it works with fax machine, inkjet printer, as well as pen plotter. And when you given that inputs, it will be selected with given select lines, and it works with the destinations with different applications. It is the works with communication system. It receives signal outputs from the multiplexer, and receiver entity converts into the back to the some original forms. It works with ALU. is fed an input to the demultiplexer. It also works with series to parallel converter. Is used to reconstruct of parallel data, sending and receiving devices with different signals, with the digital signals. Is attached to detect the signal. Before thinking, I will play the one video application oriented video related to MUX and DEMUX. You check that video. Same, already we seen the different types of data. Same that data will be given in video. There is some animation oriented that and some extra data will be given on that video. 2-3 minutes video. We see the video. We will clear the concept and then we'll stop. I will play the video.
Good morning. Today we will discuss about multiplexers and demultiplexer. Multiplexer is a digital switch. It has multiple input and single output as shown in block diagram. So to the power of n sources and one destination. For this, n select lines. The select lines determines which input is connected to the output. Various types of muxes are available. 2 to 1 mux. For this, 1 select line. 4 to 1, 2 select lines. 8 to 1, 3 select lines. 16 to 1, 4 select lines. Now we will discuss about typical application of the multiplexer. Now we will have multiple sources we can connect, and with each multiple sources are selected by using a select line and with a one destination. For example, 0 0 0 0 get D0 channel gets selected. For example, if in this example for D0 channel MP3 player is connected. Now if I select 0 0, MP3 player sound will be played on the sound system. Similarly, 0 1 channel 1 D1. For this channel, laptop sound card is connected. Now, if I select 0 1, the songs that is there in the laptop sound card get played in the sound system. For 1 0, that is channel D2, the D2 digital satellite gets selected. If I select 1 0, the songs that is there in digital satellite get played in this sound system. For 1 1, cable TV is get selected, that is a D3. Now, if I select this 1 1 select line, D3 gets selected. In turn, a digital cable TV song will be played in the sound system. Now, we'll realize a 4 to 1 multiplexer using basic gate as shown in. 4 AND gates are connected for D0, D1, D2, D3 with A select line A and B. 0 0 D0 gets selected. 0 1 D1 gets selected. 1 0 D2 gets selected. 1 1 D3 selected. And then this shows the waveform for 4 to 1 multiplexer. For D0 gets selected with A is 0 and B is 0. D0 gets selected as an output. Now for 1 0 D1 gets selected. For 0 1 D2. For 1 1 D3 gets selected and it will repeat as it is, as shown in this waveform. Now, with medium scale integration of mux. 4 to 1 mux. For 4 to 1 mux, 4 input, 2 select line and 1 enable. Enable is an active low. When it is low, then only the multiplexer gets selected. When it is high, then it will be in high impedance state. Similarly, for 8 to 1 mux, so 8 select lines and 8 channel and 3 select lines. So this is also active low. Active low, when it is enable is low, then multiplexer gets selected. So for 16 to 1, 8 16 inputs and 4 select lines. So this is also active low. Now we will discuss about demultiplexer. De-multiplexer is a digital mirror of a multiplexer. This demultiplexer has one input, that is source, and 2 to the power of n destination and n select lines. Demultiplexer is a digital switch with a single input and multiple outputs. The select lines determines which output the input is connected. Various types of multiplexer like 1 to 2, 1 to 4, 1 to 8, 1 to 16. Exactly. Now we will consider typical application of demultiplexer. Single source, so that is from the PC. Select lines for 4:1 mux if I select 2 select lines and the 4 output channel. 1 input and 2 to the power of n output for n channel. For example, 2 channels, 2 to the power of n, 4 channels. Now 00 means printer gets selected. Whatever the data that is from the PC is printed. 01 fax machine. 1010 inkjet printer. 11 plotter as shown here. This shows the implementation of demultiplexer using basic gates. When as shown in this truth table, 00 select lines is 00. D not get selected. D not whatever it is get selected. 101 D1, 10 D2, 11 D3. This shows the waveforms and this shows the various integration of this multiplexer. Thank you.